While making comics digitally nowadays is commonplace, back in the 90s it wasn't like this. Comics were still created by hand, but in 1990, DC released the first digitally created comic called Batman Digital Justice. It's interesting. I'll go over the comic in different sections so I can focus on one aspect of the comic at a time. The whole comic was illustrated by Pepe Moreno. No, not that Pepe. I don't hate the CG entirely. The Batcomp model looks pretty silly, and the Joker virus model is weird, but I kind of like it. The news reporter dude looks like a bootleg Max Headroom. Everything else in here is pretty ugly to look at. Don't get me wrong, not all the art looks terrible. There's a few pieces I like, but a lot of it really hurts my eyes. Maybe because I was reading it on a computer. If you think I'm opening my sealed first printing of the book, you're wrong. Anyways, the art looks pretty blurry a lot, and it gets hard to look at the more you continue reading it. There's some questionable pieces in here. Also, the Batsuit looks really cool. I don't care what you say. Well, only with the helmet on. Ew. Overall, the art, while not great, has its moments, and the CG models look at least amusing to look at. The comic takes place in the 21st century, with the grandson of Commissioner Gordon, James Gordon II. Unfortunately, there's a digital dictator/virus called Joker, and it starts infecting weaponized computers and vehicles. A Joker virus infecting highly dangerous tech. What could possibly go wrong? James Gordon II Electric Boogaloo takes on the mantle of Batman after finding a box containing the original Batman suit and probably his gear. Something I'd like to mention is that we never really see Batman fighting at all in this. We are told it happens, but we never see him throw a punch. Anyways, he soon gets joined by Bobby Chang, who becomes the new Robin. Cool. All of this activates the Batcomp, an artificial intelligence created by the late Bruce Wayne to assist whoever becomes the new Batman. The new duo gets saved by rogue drones by the Batcraft and are taken to the Batcave, where we meet Alfred, a weird-looking robot. Apparently, the Batcomp was reactivated when someone put on the Batsuit, which is kind of weird. This is also when the origin of the Joker virus is mentioned. It was created by the original Joker. Can everyone make an AI? I should make my own Strawberry Floyd bot to continue on the channel when I'm gone. The Bat computer gives them new gear and suits, and like I said before, I love this Batsuit. Sometimes. So now, Batman and Robin must go stop Madam X. Who is that, you may ask? Well, I had the same thought when I had to look up how this book ends again. She's basically one of the authorities of the city, and she's the mother of the new Catwoman. Also, the reason the new Catwoman exists is because James as Batman is taking all the attention off of her because he's a pop star. It's dumb. While the Batcomp confronts the Joker virus, Batman and Robin are fighting Madam X's thugs, and they get Catwoman on the side by James kissing her. What? Madam X eventually captures Batman and Robin and plans on putting them into a digital realm, and guess who saves them? Alfred. This is why Alfred is the best character. He puts a memory disk into the database, which destroys both the Batcomp and the Joker virus because it overloads the system. Damn. Ripper was left of the original Batman and Joker, I guess. This causes an explosion and ends the life of Madam X, who reveals the new Catwoman wasn't her daughter, but a clone of her. Huh? The story ends with the three of them vowing to build a balance between the real world and the digital world. This story is terrible. Everything before they go off to fight Madam X is pretty okay, but after that, it just becomes a mess. By the end, I was so out of it that all it registered as was words and terrible art. I'm not saying the first half is perfect, because it isn't. There's so many characters I didn't mention because they don't matter after they show up. James had a partner while he was a cop. but when she's murdered, she's never brought up again. This is basically a bad version of Batman Beyond. The story has so much potential. I love Batman stories where other people than Bruce Wayne are Batman, so we see how they operate as Batman, but this story wastes it. To wrap up my thoughts, this comic has a pretty uninteresting plot with wasted potential and pretty terrible artwork. There's stuff in it I really like, but there's more negatives than positives. The only reason I picked up a copy of this was because of how this is the first digitally created DC comic and how interesting it is, despite it being terrible. If you want to read this, you can find a copy on eBay for pretty cheap, or you can read it online. Just be careful where you look. Or do what I did and do both.